MMAfighting.com, and we're in O'Shea's of Talbot Street with Paul Redmond, who unfortunately is not going to be taking part in the Bellator Dublin card. This is the first time I've talked to you since it's been announced. How does it feel, man?
That's slow. I've been talking to you.
A few text messages. Let's calm down, okay? Publicly.
Yeah, a bit sick that I won't be fighting in there. There's nothing I can do. It's just an injury that happened in training.
It's a big one for me because we were waiting for the Irish guys in particular to get this chance against the US talent. And this is the second time, unfortunately. It's happened to you, right, with Daniel Vichel in the past, and now with Brandon Girtz. I know that's an opponent you were really looking forward to face. Was it one of those situations where you were trying to make the date anyway, but the injury was just too much?
No, we'd have never made it. So what happened was we started camp. I think a week or two into camp. Nothing crazy. We usually run. There's a sort of trail we run on a Saturday morning. Andy brings us to Hout with all the lads. It's like 5 or 6k, like sort of cross country type of thing. Then we come back, go a bit of breakfast, come back for wrestling practice. I was grappling with Graham Shane. Nothing too crazy. We were just going like live rounds in wrestling. I was going for a throw that I've done sort of 1,000 times over the years, and I just stepped across to do the throw. He tried to counter, I tried to push a little bit more, and we're just fighting in that sort of back and forth for a second, and then just felt a big pop in the back of my leg. Swelled up quite instantly. I was rolling around the ground, screaming like an owl. So I sort of sat on it for a week, and he says, look, see what it's like in a couple of days. Still enough out that you could probably take a week off, and if it's not as bad, get back into training after, so it was like grand. So took a week off. Anywhere I was walking, I hadn't got like the crutches or anything like that, so I was sort of limping around the place. It kept swelling up, going back down. Kevin Hendricks and Dave Quinn had a look at it. The physios, and then Joseph Cliff had a look, and this is now go get the scan. Got the scan. Dan Healy, his friend, read the disc, told me I had a fractured tibia and one of the ligaments. I can't remember the name, but it's in like a Latin name. Tore off.
I definitely don't know what it is.
No, tore off the bone, and then I went to see him on the Monday, and he told me I needed surgery, as quick as yesterday. So that was seeing him on the Monday, and they had me in and out of surgery on the Wednesday afternoon, which was great. So I would have never made the fight. It was just too bad an injury.
A lot of people have reacted in a big way to you not being able to fight there. Does that still kind of blow your mind? Like, when this is announced, people are like, oh my God, I can't believe it. You're one of the big draws here in Ireland. It's not something you've ever been really exceptionally comfortable with. But
I'm not comfortable. Just when you're looking at it yourself, you just say, it's just a fight, or it's this, that and the other. You're doing it a long time. Maybe you don't see it in yourself personally or whatever. No, but it was a good fight. Looking at it now, sort of hindsight, it was a big fight against a good name opponent on co-main in the American portion of the card. It would have been big, but
is it one of those situations where like you are hoping that when you are ready to come back, that they'll match you with a similar kind of opponent, like a top rank kind of US guy?
Yeah, I think with the level opponent, after giving him again with John Tuck, which I didn't know. He was released from the UFC, so I think if they're giving him that level of opponent, it means they must have obviously thought I'm that level of opponent, which I am. Black belt, fought all over the world. So yeah, I think they give me that high level opponent again, or if not, the winner of that fight makes sense.
I saw you tweeted there recently that January is when you want to come back. Like, do you think that's the most logical time where you'll be able to fight, or do you still have to talk to doctors and specialists and stuff like this?
Yeah, so I'm still in a sort of half boot type of thing on crutches now for the next 3 weeks. Boot comes off in 3 weeks. That's when I go and see the surgeon. He'll sort of give you a ballpark figure when you're going to be ready. Not going to push anything too soon, so he said about 4 or 5 weeks rehab on it. Then another probably 4 or 5 weeks, sort of getting 100% on it again. So if you start training heavy then in December, January, look, February's probably a little bit more realistically, but the way we are, like, we're wanting to jump into it rather than later. But I'll make sure it's 100% before I go back doing that stupid again, or back heavy training. We'll be 100% ready to go. So.
We were talking last time, the last interview we did on video, you were talking about your job and stuff like this. Has this like really messed you up in terms of like work and stuff like that? I mean, what's going on there?
It was just one of those things. Like, my job was great. My boss is Kevin Martin. They own the company KCMG, and they were just like, they know the how tough the sport is, and like injuries are a part of it. So when I told them, they said, look, no problem, job's still there, whatever, like that's not an issue. But I have been out of work the last 6 weeks since it got injured, and they've been grand about it, they've been great about it actually. So I haven't sort of messed up with them, just haven't been in work for the last 6 weeks, so I'm sitting on my hands, bar down my head.
I mean, will you still play a role with Team Rhino that night? Obviously, there's still a couple of fights there for your guys on the card. Most notably, Keith McCabe, Phil Mulpeter. Are you still going to be able to corner despite your leg?
I won't jump in and out of the ring, but take me the whole minute to get up the stairs and back down. Oh, sorry, Keith. No, I'll be there with Andy. Obviously on the night. Maybe I'll even take a step back, and John and Donnelly and Siri might do the corner. Andy, I don't know, but I'll be available anyways, and I'll make the walk out with them nonetheless. But yeah, if anyone wants me to do corner, I'll jump in for them. But no, I'll be there and I'll be helping the lads out. I won't miss that for the world.
Any words for Niall McGrath? He said he would be here today and he hasn't shown up. Very unprofessional of him. I mean, any words for Niall at all?
He's not welcome in Team Rhino anymore. Who are we talking about here? No, never heard of him. He's finished in my book. He's gone.
Thanks so much, Richard. Cheers.